Hi there, this is Jamie Dyer welcoming you to this week's edition of Dyer's Weekly. We're nearly halfway through December now. It's really going, isn't it? The time goes really fast. But it was my birthday in the last week or so. I turned 32 years old, and you're always reflective, I think, around your birthday, and even more so when you're surrounded by festivities that come with this time of year. You start remembering people that you've lost and previous years and things like that. But there's plenty to look forward to in the future, although sometimes, what with this Omicron thing, etc., it doesn't seem like it. I think I'm going to go all the way through this week simply because I think this might be the last episode that I do this year. I might take a couple of weeks break from releasing and get myself ahead on a few things. I've done that with the YouTube channel, actually. I've been filming taste tests for YouTube for 6 to 9 months, maybe even a year. I'm losing track. And I've started to try and get ahead on things. So I've recorded maybe 2 or 3 videos in advance that will be seen in January in the hope that I can build up something, you know? I can be totally honest with you and say that I wasn't going to release an episode this week. I was going to get myself ahead of time and start recording for New Year, but I felt that by the time I got there, it would be too late to say what I'm about to say. Now, yesterday evening, I heard the news that the Monkees Michael Nesmith passed away at the age of 78. Now, I am a big Monkees fan. About 5 years ago, I got into the band. I must have just looked on YouTube one day and started listening to their music, and I had a few of their songs on vinyl, so I kind of heard things in context. And I want to say I bought a collection of their first few albums, including the Monkees, More of the Monkees, the Pisces album, and I just loved it, and it kind of grew from there. And of course, they released a new album 5 years ago, which kind of built on it, and I bought the TV series on DVD. And to me, Mike Nesmith really stood out because the guy was very unique. He pioneered so many different things, and he was one of the people to say, I think we should be doing something else than what we're doing. And of course, the Monkees started off as kind of this boy bandy manufactured outfit and ended up becoming basically a 60s pop band with elements of psychedelia and country and rock and really varied stuff. And of course, after that, with the First National Band creating some of the amazing material that founded country rock. Then as he went on from there, I mean, his mum invented liquid paper, which is a kind of Tipex. It would later be called Tipex. It's a different branding thing. But that family, contributed so much, and Mike is one of those pioneers, I think, that doesn't get enough credit, because he also is kind of instrumental in the beginning of MTV and music videos blowing up and becoming a big thing. He had a couple of TV series kind of showcasing some of that, which led to music television. And I thought it was quite apt that in the mid-80s, when the Monkees had this revival thing, it was because of reruns on music television. I mean, I am somewhat lost for words, really. There is so much that I could say about Mike. When you look at him in the TV show, he wasn't just a good artist, he was funny as well. He had a great sense of timing, and well known obviously for his beanie hat, but from what I understand, he didn't actually like it, the whole beanie hat thing. He wrote Different Drum for the Stone Ponies with Linda Ronstadt, which is an amazing composition. I particularly, of his solo material, I like Silver Moon and Nevada Fighter, both in the kind of country mold, but with a bit of an edge to it. And in the Monkees, I love his interpretation of "You May Just Be the One," which is, I don't know, I love that energy as we go into kind of that middle eight section where it goes up a gear, doesn't it? I love that. It's brilliant. And of course, Papa Gene's Blues, listen to the band. Oh, there's just so many. What Am I Doing Hanging Round? I mean, the guy it's just a legend, to be honest, and he will be sadly missed. He played his last gig about a month ago or so. It might even be less than that. And sadly, that means that Mickey Dolenz is the last Monkee left, because Davy Jones passed in 2012. Peter Tork was a year or two ago, and now Mike Nesmith. I think at some point they should show the Monkees TV show again. They need to make that a thing. I mean, if I'm honest with you, I'm surprised that the BBC showed it in the first place. I think it was like BBC One on like New Year's Day. I want to say 1967. Sounds about right to me. But knowing what the BBC was like then, and there's this like madcap, crazy TV show that basically itself invented promotional videos, obviously, along with what the Beatles were doing around that time. There are actually quotes, aren't there, that say that at one moment the Monkees were selling more records than the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, which I can believe. I mean, they had a great selection of hits. The non-Michael sung tracks like Last Train to Clarksville, obviously Daydream Believer, I'm a Believer, etc., are all iconic 60s hits. If I was to recommend something, I would say go and listen to his album Magnetic South with the First National Band. There's some great songs on there, and just little bits, I think, from the Monkees. Perhaps the Pisces album with What Am I Doing Hanging Round, which is kind of a mixture, or even You Told Me from the Headquarters album, which is the first album where they started to play all of their own instruments, which I think is sometimes forgotten in retrospectives of the band. Also, Mia Magdalena from the Good Times album, Birth of an Accidental Hipster from the same album, and I think as well Circle Sky from the Head soundtrack, which was the movie, which I still haven't seen yet. I need to one day, but it's not one of those that I think will ever turn up on streaming or social media or anything really. I don't think it will be broadcast again. Perhaps a DVD or Blu-ray release at some point in the future. Anyway, I'm going to bring this episode to an end, but rest in peace, Michael Nesmith of the Monkees and beyond. And I feel as well, you should go and listen to Rio and see the music video, because it is groundbreaking.